Okay, good morning. Well, I always say good morning, but it's not probably morning for you. But welcome, everyone. We are so happy that you have joined us today. I'm Tyra with TN Grow Wealth Together.
And
And
I'm sorry. I'm
no,
so
I'm
used to
sorry.
doing I'm so used to doing it. I'm Julia from AJ Internet Solutions. Sorry about that, Tyra.
No, not at all. And you had some stuff you were going to share.
Yeah, I was going to share this. I just want to let everyone know that we really appreciate all the interaction that we've been getting from our show, and we'd really appreciate with Facebook if you give us a like, a thumbs up, a love, or whatever you can, or on our YouTube. We also have the interviews and a lot of other videos about products and ONPASSIVE. By all means, feel free to subscribe, because in the end, you'll be given updates and be notified of more interviews and more product information and so on and so forth. So please join us anytime. So how's it going, Tyra?
It's going good, but before we move on, I want to go back to you because
Okay.
where are they going to find you for the YouTube? You forgot to
Oh,
mention your name.
again, Julia from AJ Internet Solutions, and Tyra.
I'm on TN Grow Wealth Together. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, the whole ball of wax. Okay,
Perfect.
guys. So we've had a funny morning because we got wind and we had technical problems and stuff like that. So we're beginning a bit giddy. And if you've watched our videos, we get even more giddier. Is that a word? Giddier?
Yeah, and it's Monday morning, so we're coming off of a whatever, and I had a workout that I can hardly move at. So yeah, so I might be a little bit giddy,
There
but I
you
won't
go.
try not to move
Yeah,
too much.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. I mean, we always get that way once we have our guest on because if you know anything about OnPassive or if you haven't heard of OnPassive yet, it is an AI IT company that is creating amazing software. We are going to rock the internet. We are preparing. We're in beta testing with some things. We're getting ready. We will be launching before long into the public. So we get talking OnPassive, and I tell you folks, we get so excited. So if you're not a founder yet, because that's a really exciting position to get yourself into, because you're in the top, you're going to be bringing in apples as things are happening. So if you're not a founder yet, please, first off, onpassive.com is our business webpage for the whole company, and it really gives you details. And Julia said before about our YouTube channel, like we're posting stuff on there left, right, and center. If any of that appeals to you, please reach out to either of us and our guest, because we would love to be able to help you guys get in on this. Hey, Julia,
yeah, it's all about the help. I mean, we know that the products are fantastic, and you can see it on YouTube and everything like that. But again, Tyra and I are here for the heart, the help, and we'd like to help you out as well. So anytime, contact us, and we'll let you know what we can do to help you. And yeah.
Oh, indeed. So, Julia, we're really looking forward to
Mhm.
this guest. So we finally get to bring him on. So, folks, Mario Sousa is a coach. He does personal coaching. He has coached athletes, individuals, business people, just bringing them to a full potential. So let's welcome him to our stage. Hello, Mario. Good to
Hello.
see you.
Hello, great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And a true Canadian by heart.
That's right. Born and raised in Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thanks for joining us today. So we're going to get right at it. And Mario, something I was reading about that you joined OnPassive because you felt there was things about the company that really resonated with you. You said it's very heart-centered leadership. It's got a heart for humanity, and that really brought you in. So do you want to expand on that for us? Like,
Yeah,
why with
yeah,
those things?
yeah. No, absolutely. When I look back at my career and even my coaching practice, the heart has always been a big part of what I've learned along the way. When I
Mhm.
really had to go through a lot of work of discovering my purpose and really having an identity crisis, which a lot of us do. Matter of fact, we're having a worldwide crisis.
Mhm.
We don't know who we are anymore. And so when I saw on Passive, it was an immediate link. Ash Mafar's heart, when he began to speak, I had about 8 years of experience in internet marketing, understood everything in which he was talking about, some of the struggles, some of the challenges, some of the corruption that goes on in the world. And I really held on to his mission and really felt like, wow, how in the world can I get where I was already moving to attach to somebody who I really, really respect, as a leader and a mentor of all of us, who
Mhm.
has really come out, shared his heart, been completely transparent and open, and allowed us to go on this journey with him, which is something that's just really, really special. And so, yeah, I want to shout it from the mountaintop. As a matter of fact, this is no longer about Mario's coaching practice. This is about On Passive. This is about Founder. This is about growing people within our community. We literally are creating an ecosystem, its own country, if you will, of
Yeah.
people who are like-minded, that really kind of see things very differently. And
Mhm.
and it's about the heart, and it's about helping humanity. It's about building up people, giving them what we've never gotten our entire lives through our education system. In real life today, the people of On Passive will give you more than you ever could get in the outside world, and that's just my personal opinion.
Right.
Because basically with the company and what we've seen and what we've heard many share and what Julie and I truly believe ourselves is
Yeah.
that there isn't a hierarchy. There isn't a dog eat dog that we're used to in business.
Right.
It's very the playing field has been leveled, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is so level that we get to actually choose how much we want to get involved in. So of course there are people out there that will see this vision and they
Mhm.
won't truly understand the real power. Matter of fact, I would probably lead to say that based on what I see, even within our community, that maybe only 20% of the people that are engaged in On Passive really understand what On Passive really is and what it's going to be able to do. If you've, I mean, the word freedom, which is something that's very important to me, I teach it. I believe it. I believe that every person has the right to be free to really discover their passion, find their truth, and embrace change. And that's what On
Mhm.
Passive is completely about. It's your entire life you've been confused, you don't really know where you want to go, and you come to this place where you meet people that are going to embrace you, people that are going to give you the opportunities as you're giving me today to speak about our hearts, to speak about what this company means to us, and allow other people to say, hey, does this message resonate with me? And if it does, come on board. We're looking for those types of people. I mean, at the end of the day, this is not about just the technology and just making money. This is about making a real measurable difference in the world. And I believe that we are in the right place at the right time.
That's interesting. I'm glad you said that because my next question is there are several areas in life to have in place to help us succeed in a business. What do you believe those would be?
So I talk to my clients a lot about there's really our lives are really encompassed of 8 major areas. One
Okay.
being spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial, career, your environment, and then our social lives. And I would
Mhm.
beg to say that relationships really fall, in my opinion, under more of a spiritual element than even a social element, because I believe that we are mirrors to each other every single day. And a lot of times, and the reason why I say it's spiritual is that the only way to truly understand and learn who we are at our core is through other people. It's through our eyes, but it's through the way we see the world, right? So the
Right.
way we begin to view the world is the way that we kind of move about the world. So it's those are kind of the 8 areas. And what I teach a lot at my practice, I've encompassed those into 4, right? So I say I have a formula, and that is your mindset plus your heart set plus your heart set, mindset, your health set equals
Mhm.
your soul set. So when you can get those 3 together, you're going to be operating from your true heart centered and doing what you absolutely love. And On Passive is the engine behind that. So I love to say that I'm fueled on passive income, literally fueled on passive income, because it's just the engine that lets us do what we love. Yeah.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really
Absolutely.
good. Okay, so I've got something else here. I had to write this down so I didn't forget it. Something I read that you said, and I love this little quote. You said, "What makes people tick?" And so if I were to take that
Mhm.
into why or why not would someone join on passive or not join on passive, how would you explain that?
So the way I would explain why someone would join On Passive and why someone wouldn't join On Passive is On Passive, to really know On Passive, it takes, I would say, multiple opportunities, whether it's a 2-minute video, a 10-minute video, a 1-hour webinar. It takes you getting into the environment more than once to
Mm,
truly begin to
Okay.
understand the heart of On Passive. And the reason why is that in order to really find the like-mindedness of it, in order to really begin to understand that this is really home, I've seen people develop in On Passive where they've gone from literally not showing their face on a screen to showing their face on the screen, showing their hearts, talking about their dreams, their desires. And that to me is like ultimately why I do what I do, to see people get to that place. Because the number one issue that I have when I'm working with clients, and I find the same thing with our founders and On Passive, is self-worth. People don't really understand what they have in their hands. And when they begin to gain the self-worth to understand that we've been gifted with something so powerful that your mind can't wrap around it in one sitting. What
right.
I recommend is, one of my favorite quotes comes from Richard Branson, and it is, if you have an opportunity, take it, learn after. I believe that deeply, especially with On Passive, because the reality is it's too big of a paradigm shift for the average mind
Yes.
to grasp in one sitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which brings me, I'm going to just shift a little bit here. How are on passive products per se going to help your business?
Great question, and it's the second part of After the Heart of Ashmafara that I found absolutely amazing is being in the coaching field. And for a lot of coaches out there, I would say coaches, trainers,
Mhm.
speakers, authors. I mean, all the above. All those type of people are heart centered. They're going out trying to make a difference in the world. And for all of those type of people, On Passive gives us all the tools that we need to run our business. I can tell you that today I have thrown in every single tool. I've saved hundreds of dollars a month. Matter of fact, thousands. Uh, Positioning, I only use Go Founders at this point. I run my complete business through On Passive today. And there are tools that we can't talk about on this webinar that we know as founders that are coming out that I have a vision for, that I can see running my complete entire coaching practice with every single tool. And the most important tool that I would say, probably two that I can think of for coaches and other heart centered leaders out there, is one, O Academy. And then, of course, the last one that we've just recently talked about, and that's O-Bless. Because if you look at the world today, and since we've been
Mhm.
in this pandemic, a lot of people have gone on to these types of formats, doing virtual events. And in doing that, they have really had to adjust how they did business. A lot of coaches before used to do face-to-face interactions. Now they're having to do and educating people on how to actually get on one of these Zooms and how it works. That's what we get the privilege to do, is we get to play with all these things for free, because basically we're getting paid to use these tools, where before I used to pay
Yes.
to maybe get a customer, maybe somebody might see my videos. And now today with OnPassive, that's not even a question. Like, I don't even have to worry about how am I going to get customers. I go out and serve, and the customers come to me. We become the hunted, not the hunters. You know, we're not. You know, we're going out there speaking our hearts, and the bottom line is, if people see it, welcome aboard. If you don't, that's okay too. You will, because we're going to be everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, you know, I spoke quite a while back to a university student that was finishing some courses and wanting to go into sports therapy. And, you know, talking about, okay, so what is that generation going to be doing? Are they setting up brick and mortar? Like, how are they going to deal with all these things right now that are in our faces, and how we're seeing business after business close down and not be able to reopen? So what he was saying is, so many are going into this online field because they can still do one-on-ones, they can do face-to-face. Now, for you and what you're doing, O Academy is pretty exciting for people in your field.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's huge. I mean, to be able to take a body of knowledge and put that into a package, course that can do the work for you over and over again, is very similar to us having this conversation and it being on the internet over and over again. Just to kind of understand, and I want to kind of expand a little bit about the importance of OnPassive, and kind of give paint a little bit of a bigger picture for people to understand what
Wonderful.
OnPassive means to me and what it can mean for them as well. And that is, for me, O domain is where it really kind of starts. And what's so important is that we go to school and we go through life, and we don't really understand this internet thing, right? We go on social media platforms, and we really don't understand that we're really contributing to everybody else's dream, not our own. They're taking our information, they're utilizing our information, and we're not getting paid nothing. This is very different in that not only is the domain name your real estate, it's your personal real estate, which means that mariosousa.net, Tyra, when you have a domain, whether it's .com, it really doesn't matter. That becomes your house, like your house address, right? Someone wants to come to your house, you give them your address, they punch that in and they go to it. Think of OnPassive the same way. So OnPassive is actually your engine. So nobody really knows anything about OnPassive. They're going to come see Mario Sousa. They're going to see what I'm passionate about. They're going to see what I'm doing. And yes, my business is powered by OnPassive. So yes, people can click on OnPassive. Yes, they can learn more about why I choose to use OnPassive. But it's very important that people understand that the second part to having a house and having an address is having something in that house. And the one thing that we all have that's in common is we all have a body of work, we all have passions, we all have desires, and those are the things that we have to begin to look at, is how do I stroke those desires and begin to fill up the rooms of my house, right? So
Right.
for me, my entire life has been about leadership. And leadership in itself is kind of an embarrassing word when we see what's going on in the world. We need to put a little more heart into that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the heart-centered leadership, right? Leadership in itself is, you can lead evil people to an evil place.
Absolutely.
And so the heart-centered leadership is my brand. It's one of my rooms that my entire life's work, whether it's through coaching sports, whether it was being in the corporate world. I've done a lot of different things. I've been on different boards of directors, and everything that I've ever done is around heart-centered leadership. So now that's my brand. So we've got a domain name. We've now got a brand. For you, it could be picking daisies, whatever that is, whatever it is that you love. OnPassive is actually going to give you the ability to love that even greater.
Yes.
I mean, literally to do whatever it is that you want and share that with the world. And by just doing that, people are going to be able to see what you're doing. They're going to be able to click on it. They're going to be able to realize that they can do the same thing. This is creating your economy to the umpteenth degree. I mean, there's really, I get just so excited because there is a lot more components and we don't have all day, but I literally can break this down to understand that this is a full ecosystem,
Oh,
that
totally.
you don't
Yep.
have anything going on in your life that is more valuable than this. And I'm just telling you, that's my opinion, and I wholeheartedly believe it.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Oh, well said. Well said.
Very well said. And again, I think that if you want to go on to onpassive.com, you could find out more about the actual products that Mario was speaking to. And so it's just not those few. I mean, there's almost up to 50 plus AI-driven IT products there. And now we're also looking at the physical aspect of it too.
Right.
Yeah, so can you just kind of touch on what you've seen on the OnPassive website that somebody can go and take a look and kind of get the feel, if you
Yeah,
can say that?
the first word that comes to my mind when I think of the OnPassive website or go on there with the wheel, I think sexy. I mean, it is.
Ah,
I mean, it is
woo!
sleek.
Love
I
it.
mean, when you think about OnPassive, I mean, they do things in style. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, what business do you know that has a 7-story building that has hundreds of engineers creating, and we're all manifesting at the same time, creating this vision that hasn't even launched to the world? And that's why it's so hard to really believe. Like, who doesn't go out there in the old business model, go out there and try to make a bunch of money before they even create 2 products, 3 products, 4 products? This
Mhm.
is truly like, what's so fun about this is it's literally taking any business, flipping it on its head, literally. Instead of the people at the very top making all the money, it's actually the people. It's completely like reversed, right? So we, as founders, we are actually creating this company with. This is our company, literally. It's our company.
Yes.
We go to these meetings, we listen to the progress, we ask questions, we provide feedback, we share our concerns, we share our heart. Ash Mufar pours into us week in and week out. And I tell people, I have received 100 times and more mentorship, leadership from Ash Mufara, and I'm a coach. And I can tell you, nobody has ever received the value that we have in OnPassive for
Mhm.
just that small first time becoming a founder. Now we're going to be testing products. We're utilizing products. I'm telling you, today I'm already utilizing Go Founders as my business. So to say that I haven't, received value and the journey that we're going on, I can't wait to write the book when it's all said and done about my experiences and the amazing people like you guys that I've met in this company. People of Papua New Guinea that are literally doing everything
Yeah.
they can to make sure they get in. And I will say that around the country, I do see a real mindset disparity. And I'll tell you more in Canada and the US, we would think more what we consider to be more advanced countries. I
Mhm.
think from a mindset perspective, we're way behind. We're way behind. And the reason is that our conditioning, we've just been so, we've become so, buying things has become such a big thing in our society. And COVID's really kind of helped us slow this down and really see what are we doing.
Yeah. The
And
status.
so on passive is right on time. I mean, this is all happening right on time. The world is changing, and we are on that transition team.
Awesome.
Well said
Well
indeed.
said. Very
Yeah.
well said. And
Yeah.
I
When
just wanted to mention 1 second, sorry, Tyra. I also wanted to mention the 800 employees in Hyderabad who are working day and night to get this thing going and actually launched in the future. Okay, so I just wanted to give them a big round of
Yeah.
applause and say, wow, we really do appreciate you as founders. I'd like you to know that.
for what they're doing. Yeah. Good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
no,
sure.
that's so true. That's so true. I mean, even through all of this, India's had their fair share of challenges of people with COVID, and of course, as a company trying to follow the rules and regulations. But they, every moment that they've had, we have overcome everything along the way. So some people might think, well, what's taking so long? I'm saying, you know what? Take the time, because what people don't really realize is the founders make the decision as to when this thing launches, because we are a part of this company, which means that Ash is sharing this vision with us. And that is, until we collectively decide that we're ready to go, we're not going to go. So I don't really believe in, well, Ash is the only one to know. I think we all know enough to know that up until now, that Ash is going to be the leader. He's going to share what he feels, where things are. And we ultimately together are going to make a decision of when this thing is ready to go. And in the meantime, we've got a huge opportunity, and that is to share this thing, to really make sure that people understand what they have their hands on, and they can do it for a very, very cheap price, because the reality is founders are not paying for a lot of this. We will not begin to pay like any other customer when we officially launch. So for anyone to say that this is a waste of time, or we haven't gotten our value, everyone that's been on Passive very well knows that you go to a couple of meetings and you almost feel guilty that you're not paying more money for what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what Mario is talking about, if you've never heard of OnPassive or you're not a founder, when you pay your $97 USA to become a founder, it's like the gates of Lala open up, because you get a back office, you get all kinds of personal links, you get access to weekly webinars with, I mean, how many CEOs do you know that come on and talk to their founders for not 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes longer? And he's so transparent. So what Mario is talking about is the kind of value. None of us have spent more than our 97 US to date. And I've been in since June 20. I don't know, when did you come in, Mario?
So OnPassive was introduced to me probably a year before I got involved. And so, and this is why I speak passionately about, to understand that for anyone that's seen OnPassive, don't feel bad or don't feel like you're missing about. Now, I will tell you, OnPassive is, I joined in May 23rd to be exact of 2020. So when COVID started and I began to have a little bit more time, the word legacy really caught my eye. Alan Cousins is my current sponsor, and I got a message, and the word legacy hooked me, and I had time, so I listened in. And when like I said, when I caught Ash's heart, it was like, this is, I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars on things that didn't amount to much.
Right.
Like I said, Richard Branson, take the chance, spend $97, get on the inside, and understand there are things that we can't talk about.
No.
If we could literally come on here and share how I really felt, we're really having to contain ourselves, which is, it kind of keeps things super
I
exciting.
don't.
But I mean, there are so many things that are coming that really are mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask Julie. I often don't contain myself, because
Right.
I keep saying I'm pushing this desk back and I'm going to do a hallelujah dance, because it's like, wow, wow.
Yeah, because none of our minds alone could ever conceive or create the magnitude of what we're doing. So Ash was really the
Hang on.
seed.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the whole concept of Go Founders, and what I love about it is, what company do you know that can rally almost 600,000 people that say, we will pay for this product when it comes, and they're already sharing it from the mountaintop, and we haven't seen the product? Now, there are people out there going to be like, well, I'll never do that. And that's okay. That's okay. But for those that really understand, that have faith, that understand that you can be a part of something, that's a choice. But for $97, let me tell you, it'd be the best choice you ever made in your life.
Absolutely. Well said. Very well.
Take your family out for dinner. I mean, you'll barely be able to hit that $100 mark.
I know we can't go to dinner for 100,000. Not our party of five
No.
for $97.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially with growing kids, it's just not doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And you touched on something that is, with all the things that OnPassive has to offer, you kind of open that door about legacy. And oh my goodness, like when you begin to think, what is going to happen as founders? Now, you consider other companies that may have allowed founders in, have made them wealthy, wealthy. Okay. Now, we're talking about a company that doesn't have one product, they have 50 plus, and we're going to just keep growing. So, when you consider a legacy, do you want to talk to us about that a little bit? Because you have children, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a big deal. One day you won't be here,
Yes.
but you want to be sure your children are okay.
No, absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned, I'm trying to remember if it might have been Friday. I think it was might have been Friday. We sat our kids down, and after "Oh Bless," I was in tears. I mean, the minute Ash played the video of "Oh Bless,"
Oh,
um, I I bubbled up, and it just really blew my mind. And I sat my kids down and I said, "Listen, I know that I've been spending a lot of time behind this computer in this community called On Passive, and you guys don't really even fully understand. You just know your dad's like super excited about something that we just don't understand. But when I really shared and I said, I want every one of you guys to really think about what matters to you, and just think about what that is. And I didn't expect an answer in the same day, but it's just beginning to think about this because, yes, every one of them is going to have an account. Every one of them is going to have a platform that they can share their own hearts and what really matters to them, and they can make money. I mean, this is the paradigm shift that's really changed my life as a coach, because I used to go out and have to market and try to find clients. I no longer really have to do that anymore, because now I get to actually give my clients the method in which to pay me. That is like absolutely like mind blowing. Like, who does that? Like, the reality is that you won't pay me a red cent for my services until you're making the money to do so. That's a game changer. It's a game changer.
It's brilliant. That's what it
yeah,
is.
that's amazing. And yeah, about explaining it to your children,
Mm.
it is willable. Our founding positions are willable. So wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
And
Yeah.
amazing.
go ahead.
No, it really is amazing. And and with the kids, I got to tell you, like, they're we have two 11-year-olds and a 15-year-old. And of course, they're kind of in a time where they're on a lot of social media. And sometimes we focus so much on the external, we don't focus enough on the internal, and that is,
Yeah.
what makes us happy? What do I want to do with my life? And so what I hope that the children can do this is really begin to stir up what they love and what they're important. And once they get into the ecosystem of On Passive, I mean, with O Academy and O Bless and all of the different tools that they're already using from 100 different places, whether it's a snippet tool or a doodling tool or going live with video, On Passive will have it all. And the biggest product that I really love, that we really can't talk about, hasn't still been out there. So of the 20 products that people are floating out there, of the 50, the one that's most important to me, we'll have to do another interview on
We
that
will.
product if we can talk about it. But that product uh, is something that I really see tying in with the coaching community, and really is going to help people tremendously.
Wonderful.
That,
That's
that
great.
wow. Yeah, on that
We'll
note,
definitely have you back.
yeah, on that note, we're going to begin to wrap up because that where can you end it better than knowing when you become a founder, you can also put that position in your will, or you can buy positions for your children. So that's a top right there. I mean, we have to end on that because it's just such, as I've heard people say, it's such a Selah moment. You just have to sit and take it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyra, I just have one more thing to say to your audience and anyone out there. We're living in a real difficult time, out there in the world, and we've got to be able to find positive things that we can attach to. And this community is literally life changing. I mean, there are more heart-centered people that I wish I can communicate. I mean, there's so many people I really, really want to get to know. And I've really contemplated on starting my own type of show like this, simply because I love having conversations like we're having here.
Yeah,
Love to talk to people, love to really get to know people. And what a beautiful format. And at the end of the day, we're helping everybody by doing this, right? People are using your video, they're learning more from me, they're learning more from you. To be able to be the student and the teacher at different periods of time is such a beautiful thing. We're
absolutely.
constantly learning from each other. And so when we see the way the world's moving in on passive, that reality is really kind of a far distance. You know, I mean, the more we focus on building people up, changing the world, beginning with us, the more we're going to be able to get through this period of time. Things in life tend to get worse before they get better. The better begins here.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well,
Wonderful. And yeah, that's awesome.
well said. Very well said. Mario, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for joining us today. That was
Yes.
wonderful.
Thank you
Thank you so
so
much.
much. And we'll definitely have you back.
Awesome. Again, thank you guys for everything that you've been doing for our community. These are a phenomenal format. I've learned so much about you guys just watching these videos, right? It's it's amazing. And like I said, I feel like in our community we got all these heart-centered people, but then we get on this show and I got my fellow Canadians. So it's just so cool to meet people from all over the world. And again, thank you for the opportunity, and continue to go out there and let your line shine bright. Let
Our
your light
pleasure.
shine bright. Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks, Mario. We'll see you
Take care.
again. Take care.
You
Bye now.
take care.
Ah, well, I tell you, I honestly, I am containing myself. I'm trying. Julie gets a taste, a more stronger taste to me often.
I'm the more reserved one, and Tyra's doing her happy dance under her chair there. So I just have a big smile on my face because I'm doing it in my head.
Julia is the perfect match for me because I'm like way over here, like the octane, Red Bull, and Julia's here. So we kind of meet in the middle and have a perfect balance. Hey, girl?
Oh yeah, Tyra, I really enjoy these on passive founders. I learn just as much as maybe they learn. I love doing these interviews because I'm also pretty new, and I just really enjoy getting a different perspective by different personalities from different countries. Where else can you do this?
Yes, indeed. I like something Mario touched on, the whole give and take,
Exactly.
and I love that because no, that's not how I want to say it. Why should we ever think we're above someone, because then we stop learning?
Absolutely.
But if you take that stance of knowing, like what he brought up, of the give and take, that each time we can learn things from each other, we can glean. Everybody has something to offer us.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. It's just the selflessness that I can actually say that selflessness, and just the fact that everybody wants to help somebody in the On Passive family at any time. Just I've never seen it in my lifetime. So I am just very blessed at this point, and very happy. And yes, I'm doing my happy dance, but it's in my head.
I love it. I'll come up with one day. Keep threatening and saying I'm going to. Thank you.
Exactly.
So I just want to say, if you're watching this and you've been blessed by it, share the heck of it out of it. Wherever you find it, share the heck out of it. Let people know. Let people know what On Passive is about, because people are getting curious, and let's just get the word out there. And once again, I'm TN, Grow Wealth Together. I would love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll get all the updates and whatnot. And whoops, this way, my dear.
Backwards. Yes, I'm AJ Internet Solutions. My name is actually Julia of the AJ, and I'm also on YouTube. And if you go to YouTube, share the heck of it out of it. All the interviews. If you can't quite get it all well versed yet, there are a lot of interviews on there. There are a lot of different informational sessions on there, and a lot about the company itself. By all means, subscribe, thumbs up, or a heart on Facebook. But
I can't make them. Some people make them so perfectly. I'm not,
well, I'm not perfect, so yeah. But by all means, come on down if you have any questions. Again, we want to have the interaction. We'd love it, and so by all means, comment on either Facebook or YouTube, and we'd be happy to answer you as soon as we can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Great show today. Thanks again, Julia, for taking the time, and thanks to Mario for taking his time too, and really making this show great today. So we'll see you all. We've got, hold on a second.
Oh, wait.
Drum roll. April 1st, and honestly, I'm not fooling. I'll come up with like some kind of gag. Maybe I'll get Julia, but April 1st, we have Charles Usong. Am I saying that right? Osong or Usong? Out of Toronto. Oh, we're so excited. He does a lot of the webinars with Marina Favit, and that is going to be fun. That is really
awesome.
Good. So watch for that, folks. We'll put some information there so you know what's happening. So again, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a wonderful day.